Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we will be discussing about classes in Java. Class is nothing but a blueprint of an object. What a blueprint means, it is the map or the foundation of the entire program. Remember that whenever you name a class, it should always start with a capital letter at first. This is a good programming convention. And also there can only be one public class for each program. Everything in Java gets executed within a class and nothing happens outside of the class. We should also remember that we can only execute the programs that have the main method. What is the main method? The basic syntax of the main method would be public static void main, then string args as its parameters. This is a basic main method. We can see here already that there is the run and debug option in Visual Studio Code, which makes it easier to understand. So the program that can execute is the one that has the main method in it. This is the main class or the main method. Everything that happens within the main method gets executed to the terminal. Now let's create another class. Let's say app2. Now this is another class. Remember that for each program there can only be one public class and the other class can only be default, which means you don't need to specify an access modifier. Also remember that only one class can have the main method within a file, which means if there is a different file called the tester, here we can have the public void main. But within that same file, we cannot have, or within the same program, we cannot have the main method again. If I try this, it's not gonna work. Also remember that the name of the class or the name of the class that has the main method in it should be the same as the name of the file. So here we can see that the name of the file is application.java. The main class also has application in its name. This is a very important rule and you should be following it for the program to get executed. Even a single mistake in this can lead to errors and exceptions. And also it is case sensitive, so you should be careful whenever you're typing a name. Now if we discuss about access modifiers in Java, there are 4 access modifiers. What an access modifier essentially is a, let's say, there's private, there's public, there's default, and there's protected. These are the 4 access modifiers in Java. The private, obviously, as the name suggests, makes the variable restricted, which means the access will be very limited. Whereas public is the value that can be used from anywhere within the program, a package, or anywhere in Java. And the default is a modifier where we don't need to mention the name itself. So I create a class, let's say just a class. So here, this is default because we have not mentioned any kind of modifier itself. If I mention something behind this, or if I mention something beside this, then that will not be a default anymore. And then protected has restricted access, but it is not as restricted as the private, which means protected has limited access. Whereas private, you can only access within a class. Public, you can access from anywhere. Default, again, you can access within the package, within a class. And protected, you can only access within the file. These are the access modifiers in Java. See you in the next one.